Oh, stay. Eh? Oh, cool. Hey guys, how's it going? Moon and Mike here with you on this, Why? I'm already yawning. On this Saturday morning! Um, Figured it's been a couple days since I made one of these, so, yeah, thought it was time to make one. By the way, if my eyes are doing something weird, I don't have my contacts in, so, yeah, I'm blind. I'm like a bat, except bats aren't actually blind. But I'm also not gonna sit here and like use echolocation. Um, Not gonna yawn. Yeah. Um, Actually, there is that one kid. So there's this kid that he's blind, but he actually like does like that kind of, but it's more in the back of his throat. But he actually can echolocate, which is awesome to me. Just figured I'd share that. Hi, Fran. I'm cat sitting currently for two cats, Francesca and Godiva. Francesca is very needy and very loving. Godiva is in the closet and has not come out much. Um, let's see. Uh, Work is awesome. I definitely really like my job. I like getting to nerd out all day. Cause the cool thing is, we don't just sell video games. Like we also have collectibles and stuff. But like, I'll get someone that comes in that's really excited about like a 40th anniversary Star Wars collectible, and then I get to nerd out with them and talk about like I don't know, like TK421 and how he wasn't in his post, or how it's a good thing that R5D4 broke down at that exact moment, or else stuff wouldn't have happened, or would have happened. Things would have changed. Um, I don't know. I really sorry, Fran. No, I'm not. Um, I don't know. I really like getting a chance to nerd out like that. It's a lot of fun, and especially getting paid to do it. Um, so part of the ceiling fell. Apparently, we have a leak in our roof, and I don't know where everyone is watching this from, but here we've had some crazy rain the past like I don't know week or so. Um, but apparently we have a leak in our roof. Uh, God, why? Uh, so what happened was it was leaking and it soaked a ceiling tile through. That ceiling tile in turn, yes, baby Ty, in turn broke and dropped. Um, so now we have a hole in our ceiling. And I'm really hoping it doesn't rain before they patch it up, but it's overcast now, which around this time of year seems like it means it's gonna rain. So there's that. Let's see. Speaking of video games, definitely been getting a little bit of an opportunity to play. Let's see. I think last video I made, I just beat God of War 3. I don't know what's wrong with Ty. Um, but since then, I've definitely done a little bit more. There's a game called Abzu. Um, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that right, but it's for Xbox One and PS4, but it's also one of the free games on PlayStation Plus this month. And that game is not very long, and It's definitely a weird game, but it is beautiful. Like, there were a decent number of times in that game where I just stopped and I was just like, this is awesome. Um, but you play like a humanoid, um, and you're underwater, and I don't know. There are these weird, uh, almost like shrines, but made out of coral, um, that you activate somehow, and fish come out, like a new species of fish. Because it starts off, it's a very like empty ocean, but then as you do that, it becomes more populated, and you can like ride on them, like you grab them and they swim and stuff, and yeah. Um, I don't want to give too much away, because like I said, it is a pretty short game, but definitely like I don't know if I would say it's worth paying like $20 or so. Um, Granted, I also like I didn't know what I was doing. I just played right through. Um, Not that they're really side quests, but I definitely could have explored more, which I may do. Um, but I don't know if I'd say it's worth paying like $20. But if you're already a member of PlayStation Plus, then hell yeah, download it. Hi. My cats are broken. I've also started replaying. A little chilly in here. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I'm doing this. Um, I also started replaying Rise, Son of Rome, which was like, I'm pretty sure that was a launch title for the Xbox One. Um, but I've been replaying it. It's still a really gorgeous game. Still fun. Fran, what do you? Oh, okay. Um, Still a lot of fun. I'm I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to like ancient Rome, so it gives me an opportunity to kind of nerd out because I don't know, like I'll see a thing set up and I'll be like, hey, that's one of their God, I think it was called the Pelum. It was like a javelin, but at the end of it, there was the spearhead, but then there was a long kind of thin metal piece. That was so that when it stuck into something, that would bend. So you'd have like the point here, but then it would be bent so they couldn't throw it back, which I thought was really cool. Um, like I don't know, I always thought that was awesome that like they thought about that. Like, okay, well we're gonna throw these and do some damage, but we're also kind of throwing them a weapon. Let's make it so that the shit bends and it doesn't work. Like if they try and throw it back at us, like that's awesome to me. Romans are on some whole different level of I don't. Yeah. Um, I think that was part of Xbox Live Games with Gold last month. Um, let's see. Oh, Little Nightmares. Uh, God, that game is freaky. So, if you've seen the trailers for Little Nightmares, that really is like how the game is. Like that is a very accurate trailer. Except for one thing, it gets worse. Like that game is freaky. Um the way I've been describing it is Tim Burton on a bad acid trip or a good acid trip maybe. I don't know. I've never done acid, but like if you for okay, I so what see when you so when you think I don't so if you've taken acid, from what I understand, this is not how it is. I mean, I've heard different things about how it is, but like if you think stereotypical like acid trip or bad acid trip, that's what it's like. But I also don't want people out there thinking like, I don't know, if they've actually done acid, they're like, oh well, this is my cup of tea or whatever. If you don't drink a shot of espresso, what, a bottle of water. I don't know what you drink. Whatever, a shot of whiskey. I don't know. Don't drink. Drinking's bad for you. Well, drinking's bad for me. Very bad. So Tim Burton on a stereotypical badass trip, but in kind of a good way. Like it's, I'm surprised I didn't have nightmares about it, but yeah, that game is definitely gonna stick with me for a while. Um, I think one of the coolest things about it though is like, okay, so there are puzzles, right? Like, you have to move stuff around or like open drawers so that you can jump on the drawers and jump up and everything. And there's somewhere legit, like, after I did them, I was like, I am a genius. Like, I wanted to go outside and just be like, yeah! Oh, God, I'm cold now. Yeah! Um, and then there are some moments where, like, you have to sneak, and it gets so tense. Like I was laying down, playing it, but I was just like I stopped breathing more than once. And then just out of nowhere, it'll like you'll go from sneaking around, like having that tension, to solving a puzzle and being like, yes, to then all of a sudden having to run. And it's like, oh god, oh god, oh god. And no joke, my heart started racing. And there aren't many games that do that to me. Like, yeah. That's a very, very well designed game. And there's a couple of twists in there. But, I mean, I kind of saw them coming, but then again, I'm also a giant horror movie nerd, so yeah, that was the thing. Next up on the docket, uh, Prey. Yeah, that I'm excited for. Looks, again, freaky as all hell, but I don't know, I'm really excited for it. I'm also, God, this is gonna suck. I want to start saving up for a Nintendo Switch, but I don't get paid much. Um, so yeah, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. By the time I actually have the money for it, they'll probably be in stock everywhere. But I've also been looking at the PlayStation VR, which, I mean, if you get like the whole set, it's expensive. Like you need the whole set for it to work, but like it looks so cool. Um, I think the craziest part though is the specs on this thing. Like, if you're a computer nerd, you know what I'm about to tell you is insane. And it's a VR headset, but there's like an octa-core processor in there. It's got like 12 gigabytes of, I don't know if this was a typo or if I somehow missed out, but it said 12 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. 5! I mean, last I saw we're on 4. And that wasn't that long ago. Like, why? Like, that headset has better specs than some computers. Which is actually really awesome. But, yeah, also expensive. So, also probably not happening for quite some time. But, I don't know, maybe I'll get lucky. And, I don't know. Well, I can't really win the lottery because I don't play the lottery. Um, yeah, I can't really think of a way I legitimately get lucky. Because even if we got one like used, still be expensive. Let's see what else. Oh, I have. I don't know if anyone has noticed or if any of my viewers are eagle-eyed. My earrings changed. I did go up a gauge. Place was having a really good sale on jewelry, so I decided to pull the trigger. And yeah, I went from a 14 gauge to a 10 gauge, which yeah, that hurt. Like that I wasn't ready. Mm-mm. Cuz when I went from a 16 to a 14, it I don't know, it felt like kind of like you were pulling on your earlobe a little bit, but not like bad. This one, oh, it the only way I can think of to really describe it is, you know, when you were in, I don't know, I only really saw them in like middle and elementary school, but those hole punchers, not the 3 ones where it was like and you got them all nice and spaced. I mean the little bastards, the ones that looked kind of, they were like this. You held them in just one hole at a time. It felt like one of those went in my ear. Yeah, that was, oof. That was a little rough, not gonna lie. Um, yeah, I would actually, I'd say that was at least as painful as getting like my bridge pierced or like my snake bites. Um, I would say my nose was actually one of the most painful piercings I've ever gotten. Which, here's the thing. So if you've never really gotten pierced, well, let me answer a couple questions because I have a decent number of piercings and tattoos, and I've had way more piercings. Um, and I've just taken them out over the years. First off, yes, it hurts. Piercings, tattoos, hurt. If anyone tells you otherwise, they're lying. Here's why it hurts. If you're getting a piercing, it is a hollow needle where it is essentially, a lot of the times, well, some of them are hollow needles that take a piece out of your skin. Like it's actually taking a chunk out. Uh, yeah. Sometimes. A lot of times it's just a regular needle, and then you push the thing through. But, regardless, you are sticking a needle through your skin. Like, at what, like, what, why would that not hurt? Like, that's my question. Like, when I get asked, like, oh, did that hurt? No. I had a needle shoved through my face. Like, it didn't tickle. I mean, I don't believe they hurt as bad as some people expect them to be honest. Um, I get the feeling a lot of people look at me like, wow, that guy's crazy. No, it didn't hurt that bad. Like, all things considered. Like, out of everything I've ever done in my life, or had done, or busted, or whatever, not bad. But it doesn't tickle. If it does, there's probably something else going on. and you should maybe see a doctor. Tattoos, yes, they do hurt. Um, Again, anyone who says they don't hurt, lying. Uh, because essentially what it is a needle going like this on your skin, like into your skin, and putting ink in there. And for some of them, you like for this, I was sitting in that chair for a good, I don't even know. Like I was in there for at least 5 hours. Just nonstop, like beep, 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 beep. Except because it's a giant black piece, it wasn't just one needle, it was like 4, I think. It was definitely wider. I just don't remember if it was like 4 individual needles or if it was like a chisel. I think it was 4 individual needles because I think a chisel would have just like chewed up my arm. But yeah, it stings. After a little while, once the endorphins kick in, it might feel kind of like a deep tissue massage, but it does hurt. And once those endorphins wear off, it hurts more. Obviously, placement does affect like how bad it hurts. Honestly, on like my shoulder tattoo, when they get up to like the shoulder bone, it not a fan. It stings just a wee bit. I mean, the cool thing is once you get it done, it's done. Well, unless you need a touch up. But it also depends on how heavy-handed the artist is. Like some people will they're like digging in. Like they're trying to get to the bone. Then some people not so much. But it's even if you've got someone with a light touch, it's never going to be just like a oh haha tickles tee hee. Nah. Speaking of, I really need to get that one specific tattoo covered up. Kids, adults, preteens, tweens, millennials, middle-aged people. I don't know how old you are. However old you are, though. There's a reason why I'm Moon Mike. And it ain't because I always do smart things. So, I've had 2 tattoos now that I've gotten for significant other, or, well, one for significant other, one for wife, ex-wife. And yeah, I definitely regret both of them, and one of them, quite frankly, enrages me every time I look at it. I just don't have I've had the money to cover it up, but that money needed to go to other things like, utilities, food, that kind of stuff. But yeah, don't do it. 1, it's the kiss of death for a relationship. 2, if you ever break up, you're gonna no. You're gonna look at it and it's gonna piss you off. Because God knows it pisses me off. And then you're gonna either need to get it covered up, which is more money, and depending on which artist you go to, you might get something just stupid. Luckily, I know some pretty talented guys that, when it comes to cover-ups, they really work with me. So, it's not just gonna be, a panther. Because that's what everyone loves to cover stuff up with, because it's just all black, and it covers everything. No, I want to get it covered up, or, you need to get it removed, or you could do what I've considered doing in my low points and getting a Dremel and just... Don't do that, kids. That's bad. and I'm dumb. Remember that. Moon, Mike. Um. Yeah, don't, no. Get like, don't get stuff that you think is like cool or edgy or anything. Like, God, I've made some stupid tattoo decisions. Um. Yeah, don't. Like, don't get something that's a phase. And don't get your last name or your first name tattooed like on you, because I it it's like, are you gonna forget who you are? Like, I'm just gonna say it. There's a skateboarder, Ryan Sheckler, and across his back, like in like this big, he's got his last name in like Old English from shoulder to shoulder, and I'm just like, what? What is the point of that? Like, is that so, like, I don't know, when you're walking around without a shirt on, people know exactly who you are? Is that so if you get into a horrible car accident, people are like, oh, that's Sheckler? Like, why? Just why? Do you not carry ID? Like, driver's license, passport, any type of government issued photo ID. Like, you go to get carded. No, man, check this out. No. The only instance I will say where getting your last name is cool is if it's like a coat of arms or something. Like, that's something I've been considering. Um, Not gonna lie, I've been considering, because I have a hyphenated last name, and it's a pain, and everyone thinks that when I give them my last name, if my last name is, because I'm not giving out my last name, no, I ain't stupid. But let's say my last name was like, I don't know, Robbie Roberts, hyphenated. So my name was like Michael Robbie Roberts. When I go to anywhere, especially CVS, which is weird because they should know me there by now, they're like, oh, what's the last name? Robbie Roberts. They go, oh, so Roberts is the last name? No. That was a bad example, because if they look under Roberts, they're going to see Robbie Roberts anyway. But let's say it was like Bob Roberts. Pretty much the same thing, but let's say it's Bob Roberts. They're going to go looking under Roberts. I said it was Bob Roberts. It's going to be filed under Bob. And the best part is they always look at me like I'm stupid. Like, oh, well, we just need the last name. It's like, okay, well, that's what I gave you. Have fun wasting your time. But, anyway, I'm considering condensing my two last names, but then I need to, like, make a coat of arms for the new one, which could be kind of fun. That's not something I really need to think about for a while, at least. I was doing so good and not yawning, and then I just yawned. I messed it up. I done goofed. So, let's see. We talked about video games. Talked about tattoos and piercings. I know I talked about it. I think I talked about other stuff. Did I talk about other stuff? I don't know if I talked about other stuff. I gave some life advice. Learn from my mistakes, from my idiocy. Learn. Why am I blanking so hard right now? Francesca, why am I blanking? She's no help. I can't help but think that Ty or Heisenberg or Mittens would all be helping me right now, but Francesca isn't, because Francesca doesn't have ideas. Francesca! Nothing. No acknowledgement. Well, at least now I know she's a cat, for sure. Yeah, I know it's been like I said, I know it's been a couple days since I did one of these. I don't know, it's been kind of hectic, didn't have a chance to, but I wanted to go ahead and do one today. I don't know, timing felt right. Can't promise I'm gonna go back to doing these daily. I'm gonna try, but, yeah, it might be like every other day or every couple of days, but I am still gonna continue doing these. Easy way to stay notified is like down by the subscribe button. There's like a bell looking thing. If you click that bell, it'll tell you whenever I upload something new, which is cool because then you can watch it and you can listen to me babble on about whatever it is I feel like babbling on about that day. I've talked to a couple people that like do YouTube stuff. I know it's been suggested that I set up a Patreon. I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet. Like, I feel like that might be jumping the gun, or jumping the shark, nuking the fridge for my Indiana Jones fans out there. But I don't know. Maybe. I don't really know too much about it, but basically it's like a thing where I think you do like monthly donations or something. I'm not entirely sure how it works. I haven't looked into it too much. But that might be something that's coming, but if I'm going to do that, then, I want to, I don't know. I want to do something like special before I start saying like, hey, money, give. Because, well, I'm not a starving artist. I'm not starving. Nor am I an artist. Don't know why I said that. But money's good. Like, I don't know, I might set up a Patreon because I know my car needs servicing. I need, God, 4 new tires for my car. I really want a Nintendo Switch and a PlayStation VR, but car comes first. Yeah, I don't know. I'm babbling at this point, but and I might set something up. I don't know. If I'm going to, then I'm gonna like try and do something special that like makes it worth it. You know what? I'm gonna do an actual review on something. I don't know what yet. But after I do this, I'm gonna start uploading it and I'm gonna do a review on something. I don't know what yet, but I know I'm going to do it right off the top of my head and just see kind of what happens, what the response is like, and go from there. Yeah. So that's going to be a thing that happens. But that said, that's going to be the end of this video, so until next time, Moon Moon Mike, out.